Hi, everybody. This is Carlita. I'm going to mute everybody. Sorry. Happen. May have to do that a couple of times. I am so excited. We're just a couple of minutes early because we are starting right at 10 o'clock with our training and making sure that everybody, gets their time that we have allowed, because we have a jam-packed, amazing schedule day of training and just business building basics for you and your teams that are plugging into us. This is our first, but not last. You can already mark your calendars and save the date for November 2nd this year for our next Arbonne One Day. And we are going to be doing these twice a year as a group of nations uniting together to just teach, train, equip, empower, and inspire, hopefully, to be able to build these businesses that are here for you to change your lives, achieve your whys, but most importantly, to go make a difference out there in the world where each of you are. So we're super excited to be able to be here with all of you and just have this time to pour into you. You can ask questions on the chat. We're going to make sure, you're on mute, and everybody, yes, we are, I don't know if I can give everybody permission to record. I don't want to mess up my recording. So I'm recording, and we will get this out to people as soon as possible. So I just want to make sure that you guys are set up and ready to go for a great day, and just say thank you to all of the leaders that are uniting together with their teams. Not everybody's training, you guys, because we have such a vast amount of leaders in this organization that I get to be blessed with as the leader at the top of this group. And yet all of you are a part of this because your leaders have said, we want to unite and partner and lock arms together because we all know we're better together. So I'm super excited for you all to be here. I'm going to turn it over to Shelly Nelson, and you will get to hear a list of the trainers that we have. I can post in here, or maybe Tammy Higginbotham, because she gave us a condensed version, a schedule in the chat, so you guys can kind of keep track of what everybody's going to be doing and when. If you want to keep a schedule, feel free to get up and come and go as you want. So, Shelly, I'm going to turn it over to you.
All righty. You hear me fine?
Yes, we can.
Okay, awesome. Well, I'm pretty excited. I'm going to start out a little bit with our culture and just what our whole culture is. And I thought the best place to start would be when I dreamt of Arbonne, and I don't know if my view is showing as a speaker so people can see it, or if they see Carlita.
Your speaker view.
Oh, mine is just weird. Okay. So this is what Petter said. He said, when I dreamt of Arbonne, I wanted it to become a place where people could flourish. And I think that's the best place to start when we talk about our Arbonne culture. And then John DeVee just said, isn't it amazing how far you are willing to go when someone believes in you? And how many of you guys sitting in your living rooms or wherever you are remember when somebody said something that was like a huge blast of belief poured into you, and you like had this feeling of, I actually can do something more than I thought I could before, because this person believes I can. And I remember that. I talk about it still, and I have goosebumps that go up my arm. But I feel like both of those things really describe what Arbonne culture is. And so when we describe culture, another great way to talk about it is what we have right here today. This is where we got this idea, you guys. And I don't remember if it was one of the Tammys, but they sent an idea called Catalyst One Day Training. And so there's huge corporations that do this, and we're doing the same thing. And we've, pinned it to Arbonne One Day. And we are nations that are united together because we have the same culture. Arbonne's got a culture, and we have guarded that culture, what Petter set up, and what our leaders before us, Nita Irwin and Martha, who are Carlita's upline, all of our upline actually, continued to teach and model to all of us. And so we as a group modeled this beautifully, and I'm really excited about it. So we are where we're supposed to be, you guys. I was thinking about, we as nations for a while were like, I guess the best way to say is feeling our oats showing leadership and whatever. But I will tell you that the safest, strongest place to be is when your leaders unite really tight together. There's always room for more leaders to emerge. And I bet you any money, you're going to see a whole new slew of national vice presidents who will be doing these trainings when we do this the first week in November, another Arbonne One Day. So when I looked up the definition of culture, it really was like the belief of what somebody holds, or the social forms, or like even the material and characteristic features and traits of a society. And the best way to guard our culture, you guys, is to know the things that guide us. And if you go to Arbonne and go to your dashboard, you're going to find our agreements. And I don't know how many people actually take time to go through those agreements, but when I did a meeting down in Neenah, quite often we would go through the code of ethics, because sometimes we can do things and operate in a certain way without even understanding that we actually have agreements as consultants. And so I copied them off. I used to have them hanging in my office, and I just want to go through a few of them really, really quickly. Here's the first one. I will conduct myself with integrity and responsibility, and will make the golden rule the cornerstone on which I build my business. And this one here, how many of us have done this? I will read and adhere to the Code of Ethics of the Direct Selling Association, available on dsa.org. I'll uphold the values of Arbonne. You guys, this is important because we've experienced this, all of us in our business. And when you are a leader who knows what our code of ethics are and you operate in a level of integrity, you save your business. You save your business from a lot of problems. So it says we will not engage in any deceptive, unlawful, unethical consumer or recruiting practice that may be detrimental or reflect poorly on Arbonne, the network marketing industry, or even on me. I will support and advocate the policies and procedures and respect the spirit and intent in which they were written. Like, this is big, you guys. I will familiarize myself with Arbonne's success plans and their products and represent them to my clients and prospective Arbonne independent consultants realistically and without misleading or providing any false expectations. Here's one. This one is one that hit me right in the heart and made me strive to learn absolutely everything I possibly could, because I didn't want to mess up somebody's business. I will, to my best ability, accept and fulfill the responsibilities to train, motivate, support, and encourage all in my success line. I will treat my business like any other prestigious enterprise and will fulfill commitments I make to my clients, fellow Arbonne independent consultants, and associates. You guys see, we all have the title of Arbonne independent consultant. And so what one person does, it reflects on everybody. And we know we've had to do damage control a time or two, but when we know these code of ethics and we operate with integrity and using the golden rule, oh my goodness, we protect each other. And that's what I want, is I want us to, as a culture and a team, so when people walk into a room, they go, wow, this is different. And I know you guys hear that just like I do when we're doing presentations. This is unlike anything else, because we are striving to educate, because we represent a product that is like head and shoulders above other products out there just by the certified Arbonne Clean. I mean, knowing those things will build your belief and it will be unshakable. The other things that it says is I will convey the Arbonne opportunity to prospects with honesty and integrity and not misrepresent actual or potential sales or earning. And that to remember that each individual's success is accomplished by their individual efforts. You guys, the other thing is, and I love when Carlita says this, we will not bring our mess into the Arbonne opportunity. Everybody gets to start with the Arbonne opportunity and their personal efforts and their personal gifts and strengths, and we don't mess it up by adding, oh, but you know, I'm not sure. Oh, I know it's taking me longer. Well, I'm not sure if this thing is going to work. You guys, it works every single time when we work it, and every single personality out there, as long as you're not a wacky tobacco and you're not, doing crazy stuff. So the other things is I'm going to just uphold this whole code of ethics. So go there and read it. The other thing that we have is our policies and procedures. And guess what? It restates the integrity that we will operate our business with, and our success plan. You guys, point your business builders to this success plan so that they will refer to it and know their business and not just rely on you. We as consultants have a job that we need to do. We need to protect and uphold and model and teach this culture. And there's so many amazing stories of where, you know, your upline or sideline have come alongside you and have just modeled like selfless giving to another person. We know what that's like, you guys, because the best leaders in the business become the most humble and servant-minded person. They're not out for number one. And, you know, it's been said over and over that to get what you would like in life, help other people get everything that they need. And so when you have that mindset, and it's not just about me and my desperation, oh my goodness, your business will change, because you'll begin to walk around and hear what I love Carlita saying is, I listen for when people say, I need Arbonne. And you guys know what that sounds like. So how many of you, again, have felt that Arbonne culture, knowing that it was a safe place to fall on your face and get back up, because people aren't label keepers. Nobody has a label on their head right here, except a number 10, and you're the best. And we are the people who get to choose what label we replace it with. A title is not your label. A title just shows what your paycheck is. Simple as that. Who you are as a person and as a business builder and an independent consultant is going to be a reflection of who you are. And so that's something that I think you need to get. We've heard people say when they come into Arbonne culture, is this real? You bet it's real. You bet it's real. The good, the bad, and the ugly, it's real. But what I love is we help each other pick each other up. Here's something that I think is really, really important, that as we lock arms to provide that environment where people can flourish, there's some responsibilities that we have. Big responsibility is negatives up to your upline only, because they've experienced the bumps in the road and they've experienced the discouragements. I have seen too many times in this business where two sideline people will encourage each other right down to the bottom level. It happens because, oh yeah, do you believe my leader? Like, what's with her? What is she going through right now? You guys, one of the things we need to have as a culture is being the best grace givers out there, because we're all learning. And actually the people who are leading and creating big organizations fall on their face a whole lot more, because they're leading more people. They're learning how to work with other personalities, and life happens to everybody just like it happens to everybody. Nobody is exempt from it. And so sometimes your leader's completely up, and sometimes you can tell there's this little thing. So be a grace giver, because can you imagine if I was grumbling constantly and saying, oh my goodness, that Nita Irwin, she is portraying herself as this way, but she is a loser. How many of you would actually listen to any training that she ever gave? You wouldn't. You'd be like, oh, I know what I heard about her. Yeah, nah, and you'd tune her out. You guys, help your teams to have a listening heart, because they have respect for their upline. Really, really important. The other thing that I think is really important is not only do you not sideline, encourage each other down the pit, you also do not pass on your frustrations to your downline. Rita Davenport used to say, if somebody asks you, how's your business? You say, it's incredible. At the moment, it might be incredibly pitiful, but you guys, there's a new day tomorrow, and there's a new person you're going to meet just around the corner. And so it's incredible, because we have this opportunity and we get to do with it what we want to do. So the other thing that I think is really important is we have a culture of, when we talk about flourishing, you guys, flourishing is like taking this opportunity and becoming the best. When I dropped my son Daniel off at Nicolay Bible Institute, I think Kelly Jo was there that same year, Kelly Jo Mercer, Melissa's daughter, but I remember sitting in the audience and hearing him say, you guys have amazing potential of what you can accomplish this year. And then he said something that like hit me right between the eyes. And he said, but if after you finish this program and you've had this opportunity, if I'm still telling you you have amazing potential, it won't be a compliment, because we're not actually using the potential. And so that's where we get to come together and flourish. We get to take this opportunity, we get to plug into the training, we get to learn how to have a coachable, teachable heart and spirit, and we get to start modeling with ourselves how to do this thing. And then we turn around and we hold the hand of every single person that we sponsor and help them to do the same. And we live out this culture of being humble servants, and also having an attitude that is tenacious, that it is one that is filled with grit. And I think that's what begins to show a difference within our group of people, you guys, is we are hard workers. Together, we do crazy, amazing things. I don't know if you guys saw it or not, but in January, we've already grown over 25% from last January. And the company would love to see us have a goal of globally having a growth of 10%. Let's keep this going together as we learn, and we learn how to discipline ourselves to be workers that fit within this guideline of being one that flourishes. So you guys enjoy the rest of this training. What's going to happen today is one leader is going to finish, the next one's just going to pop on, and you're going to keep hearing things. And so enjoy your time, take your notes, and then when you have your power hour afterwards, be ready to put it into action. So thanks so much, you guys.
Hey guys, so I'm just gonna hop right on here. I am our next speaker, and I am just so excited. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Beth Gallardi, and I'm just so excited to be here with you guys and just to share my vision, but to also just inspire you guys to have vision for this business. From the very get-go, you guys, from the very beginning of my business, I was taught how to have vision. I remember sitting down with Carlita, and she shared with me on, you want to know and set a goal for going district, area, region, and nation. And I set all 4 of those goals. Do you guys know that I came up short on all 4 of them, but I still set those goals because it helped me to expand my vision of what is possible. I mean, think about it. What would you guys say? And some of you might not have kids yet, and that's okay. What would you say if a niece, a nephew, or even any young child came up to you and said this statement? Hey, I'm going to go all the way. I'm going to work my way all the way up to the middle. What would you say to that person? You would totally like, oh, wait a second. That's not how we roll. That's not how we do anything. You would sit that young child or that teenager or that kid down, and you would actually talk about how to go for things 100%. And so guys, that's my challenge. If you have not been shooting for the stars, I want to encourage you to create a vision that really has everything that we possibly can do. Because I will tell you guys, don't come up to me and say, Beth, I'm going to work my way all the way up to the middle, because I'm going to sit down with you and challenge you how to have bigger vision, because it's not about us. Vision is really not about us. It really does have to do with the things we'd like to accomplish and things like that. But when I go and when I grow in this business, I'm making place for people to get into my position and so forth. And I'll never forget hearing Cecilia Stoll, #1 income earner in Maui, say this just this month or earlier in January. She said she's a 12-wide national vice president, you guys. She could literally walk away from Arbonne and have a sweet life the rest of her life if she wanted to. And she said, somebody asked me if I was ever going to stop sponsoring, if I was ever going to stop inspiring people to join this business. And she said, no, because how many people in my business want to be where I'm at? How many people want to be here? And so it's all about us expanding our vision to make room for other people. So I got to tell you guys, last January in Maui, so January 2018, ENVP Debbie Neal said that I am where I'm at because I've protected my vision like a fortress. And I remember sitting there, and I'm just going to be honest with you guys, I remember sitting there going, have I protected my vision like a fortress? Like literally 8 to 10 foot walls around my vision. And I had to say, no, not all times. Not all times had I done that. And so that was when I set out to do whatever it took to protect my vision, and all throughout the year. And I feel like it's just rolling into what we're doing in 2019 and what Arbonne is doing. And it's so exciting to see your vision align with everybody else. I love it. But guys, we have to have a vision to protect first. So that's what I'm going to talk about real quick. And then I'm going to challenge everybody to do something fun today, or later on today, but do it in the next 24 hours. So I got to tell you guys, I was talking to my son, Benny, and you guys all know, some of you know Benny. I asked Benny, what does vision look like to you? And you know, I just wanted to hear what he had to say, but I'm actually going to share what he had to say because it was too good not to share. So first thing he said, he gave me 3 points. He said, first, Mom, if you cannot see past today, you'll never see what's possible tomorrow. I'm like, okay, that's true. That's why we have to have big vision. I call that telescope vision. You know, guys, if time and money weren't an issue, what would you be doing? If you had all the time, money in the world, what would you be doing? What are those things that you put on the shelf because of time and money? What are those things that your spouse wants to do but can't do because of time and money? This is where we get to dream bigger than you ever thought possible, guys. If you had told me 20 years ago that we would be in the position that we're in, I would have laughed at you because my vision was scarce. My vision was small, and I only saw what was in front of me for that day. I didn't think big things, and now we're challenging you guys to think big things. So if you cannot see past today, you'll never see what's possible tomorrow. Number 2, he said, having a vision helps you create small goals, then they lead to bigger ones. So when we're diligent in the small things, he said, they lead to big things. And Proverbs 21:5 says, the plans of the diligent lead surely to plenty. So guys, he's so true in that. If we have a big vision, it helps us create the small ones. And that's what we call microscope goals or microscope vision. So telescope vision is the big, what we want to accomplish. And telescope vision is when we break that big vision down into smaller pieces. And you're going to hear a lot today about how to do that, how to take care of your day, how to maximize your day, and how to make the most of your day. But what happens is a lot of times people have telescope vision. They're like, oh, yes, we're going to rule the world. I'm going to have a house on the East Coast and a house on the West Coast and a house in Hawaii and a house in Europe. And I'm going to fund every orphanage in Africa. And we have these great, big, amazing goals and vision. But we don't have the microscope vision, which is the daily breakdown of how to actually make that happen. So we actually live in our daydream instead of taking the dream, putting it on paper, and actually working back from that. The second point was having a vision that helps you create small goals that lead to the bigger ones. The third point he had was if you can imagine your future, you can plan it. And I love that. And it just goes down to, guys, just having a vision not only for what we want to accomplish, but what does that look like in your future? Guys, I remember the year that I promoted to national vice president. I was a regional vice president at the beginning of the year doing $45,000 in my whole group. By August, we did 170 and went into qual. But I got to tell you, the year before that, in July of that year, the year before, as a struggling area manager, I just moved. I literally needed to sponsor a whole new team. We did like 12,000 QV in July of 2004. Well, August of 2005 was 170,000. And the one thing that really completely changed, I'm like sliding off my bed. One thing that really completely changed in me was my vision. Like I knew how to do the activity. I knew how to talk to people. I was still pretty darn scared, but we all know you got to do it scared. Don't wait till the confidence arrives. Just do it scared. And I was doing things scared. And I was in a new place. I had to meet new people. But I will tell you that my vision was solid and it began to grow in what was possible. I started acting the role of MVP as an area manager. I started throwing together meetings just because I knew that's what Carlita did. I started doing those types of activities, and what do you think happened? I started to actually believe it. So we can write something down. We can have this, but we have to believe it's possible. So guys, how do we put those 8-foot wall thick, I'm checking my time. How do we put those kind of thick walls to protect us like a fortress? It's what we do to protect our mind. And I will tell you that first year, and even to this day, I read all the time. I'm constantly reading a book that's going to develop me as a leader and develop my vision to help it get bigger. But I also like to put things down where I can see them. So this is my dream board. And I know it's kind of hard to see all of it, but I want to encourage you guys, if you've never done something like this, I want you to do this. So you would see like a fleet of Mercedes on here. You'd see a picture of a 4-wide ring. You'd see a picture of keynote speaker at GTC. You'd see the MVP challenge trip to Africa. You'd see me winning the MVP challenge trip, $1 Million Club, all kinds of fun things. And of course, there's giving back things as well. And this is one of my favorites. This bumper sticker is the best. It says, find the happy in the crappy. I got to see that every single day. And so maybe you need to make, or don't maybe, you should make a dream board so that you can put your vision down on paper. But I want to share with you guys just real quick before I share a fun video. This was my vision that I sat down and wrote last year to give you guys kind of an idea, because your vision, you do want to have promotions as a part of your vision, because I know I mentioned that, but you also want to have a bigger thing on top of that, because promoting to national vice president isn't about the title. It's about all the people you're helping. Like, how many people do you want to help have more time with their family? How many people do you want to help get out of debt? How many people do you want to help in those areas, in that arena? So here is what I wrote down for my vision. My vision is to create an organization of just God-fearing leaders with the goal to empower and inspire folks to believe more, do more, risk more than they ever thought possible. To cause such a commotion that others start saying, what the heck are they doing? And that commotion is a group of visionaries that are helping people embrace health and gain financial independence. That's like my over-encompassing vision. And it's always growing, you guys. It's always growing. But then what does that break down to in my daily life? It's always making sure that I'm filling up me as a leader when I read and take care of, my gratitude journal, all that stuff. It's also making sure that I have my own personal reach outs, that I'm working to book my own personal activity. And it's also working with the leaders that I have and chatting with them. But it's also me casting that vision with people that I talk to. Oftentimes I'll share that vision and I ask people, do you want to be a part of it? Do you want to be a part of my vision? And you'd be surprised, guys. People will follow someone who knows where they're going more than they'll follow someone who doesn't. So if you haven't yet started talking about getting your white Mercedes and going on these trips and taking people to Maui, start doing it. I started talking about that when I was an area manager, you guys, and yes, it felt weird. I'm not gonna lie, like it did feel weird, but when you start talking about it, you'll be surprised what's gonna happen. So what I'm gonna do is challenge everybody. Somebody shared us with this in Maui. They had made a vision video, and I want to challenge you guys to make a vision video today. Now this video is going to be, I'll show you mine. Mine is really rough. It's going to be something that as if it's already happened. So oftentimes when I'm praying for people, I thank God for what has already happened. Like I've been praying for my mom who had a stroke, and I pray for her and thank God for, oh my gosh, my mom walked all the way down the street and back today. Thank you, Lord, for that. So getting us in that mindset of thank you, God, for this amazing organization that I'm leading, even if you haven't sponsored your first consultant yet. That is the first way that you can build your vision to actually starting to believe it. Because guys, newsflash, our mind does what we tell it. Crazy, right? So if we start telling our mind that it's possible, imagine what's going to happen. And my mom, as she's going about her daily things and dealing with, getting better, my brother's there with her. And my mom said, I can't do it. And my brother looked her in the eyes and he said, Mom, you have to change your words. He said, you have to change your words. He said, change it from I can't to I can and I will. And guys, the minute we start to really become disciplined in that, you'll be shocked at what happens. So let's see if I can share my screen to show you. Oh, can you give me, Carlita, can you give me permission? Sorry. If not, I can. Thank you. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I'm a little nervous to show you guys this. Can you see it, Carlita? Can you see my video? Okay, so here we go.
Playing back
All right.
Hey guys, so I just had to steal away really
Can you hear
quick because there's some crazy celebrating going on in the other room. Well, I just can't believe it. We just wrapped up 2019 with the most incredible year I've ever seen in my business. This at the beginning of the year marked my 15th anniversary. And I definitely set out the year with crazy, crazy goals. But as we began to cast that vision, I began to see people catch it with me. And I just feel so incredibly blessed today to be surrounded by the incredible leaders that I have, to have the amazing leaders rising up, all the new regional vice presidents, and oh my gosh, just knowing that in a week I'm going to be arriving in Maui, not just by myself and with Vince, but with so many others. And I just can't wait. I can't wait to show them off. I can't wait to take them on the road to Hana. Hopefully nobody gets sick. You guys who get or car motion will do really good to help you with that, because it's such an incredible experience. I can't wait to see everybody's firsts when they see how Arbonne welcomes them. I can't wait for them to go to the welcome dinner for new national vice presidents. And oh my gosh, what a year. I set off with a goal to break $1 million in sales. And I remember thinking, this is crazy, but Carlita did it. And she went and grew quite a bit in that year that she first broke that. And so I just knew that I had to set that goal and do it. But the other goal that I set out, I'll never forget being in Maui last year and or earlier this year. And I'll never forget seeing the MVP challenge trip and where they were going. I've always had a place in my heart to go to Africa. And my parents spent like a whole summer there years ago when I was a kid and a teenager for my dad's job, and my son just got to be there a year ago and spent a lot of time there. And I've always just had a place in my heart to go to Africa. And when I saw them post that video, I cried. Like, I mean, trips are great and fun, and it's so amazing to earn the stuff that Arbonne puts out there for us. But this one just tugged at my heart, and we did it. We did it. That is probably what I'm just so incredibly excited about, is we did it. And we actually earned it earlier in the year, but I'm celebrating all of that tonight. And I gotta be quick because I've got lots of people in the other room promoting the region and a new nation. So I'm gonna have to, sign off here. But what a year. I would say if you were to ask me like what I did to oh my gosh, stay focused, was stay focused. I just worked hard to keep my vision in front of me and to cast it on others. In the downtimes, I worked harder on me than anything else. And sometimes, guys, those feel like the toughest times, those dark times. But that's truly, when I look back, that's when character is made. That's when I know God's growing me the most. And honestly, that's when we find our best us, because our best us comes out on the other side. So, gosh, what a year. I can't say enough. I know next week we're going to see lots of recognition in Maui, and I can't wait to go up on that stage and represent my whole organization as we celebrate winning that trip. But I can't wait to cheer on. The best part is getting to cheer on all those new national vice presidents. And I know when I'm up there too, I get to see their smiling faces, and what an amazing day that's going to be. Guys, it's next week. I can't wait. So I will see you in Maui. And for those of you who are on your way to Maui, we are going to just start filling up table after table at those meetings. Because if I can do this, guys, if I can do this, you can too. So I'm going to go hit the party. See you later.
Okay, you guys. So my challenge to all of you as I wrap this training up and turn it on to our next gal is film your video today. And I want you to share it with at least 3 people. But for goodness sakes, guys, watch it every single day. Watch it every single day. And it's so crazy because I hadn't watched that yet since I had recorded it. And I am so excited. I can see it clearly December 31st, 2018. Or 2019. I can see it clearly. What do you want January 1st or December 31st, 2019 to look like? Make your video, share it with everyone. And then guys, just like Benny said, we can have the vision, but we got to put the daily do's into action. I love you all, and I'm going to pass it off to our next trainer. And I can't remember who it is. She knows who she is. Can't wait to hear her.
Hey, it's me. Can you hear me? So thank you for getting me all emotional, and I have chills running all over my body after watching that, because I just love so much. Vision is such a powerful thing, and it's so important in this business. And what I'm going to share with you guys today is about how to do your